I do see, are we expecting, do we have Mario?
Yes.
We are present, Your Honor.
Oh, there you are. You're on Mario's iPad. Thank you for being here. I should have made that connection. So I did look through the proposed order prepared for the minor guardianship findings and orders. And it looks to me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that I think all we need to do is maybe take some short testimony from the proposed guardian regarding the care being provided to the children at this time, and then I can enter the order assuming no objection. And I'm not seeing any objection in the record.
Right. Yes, Your Honor, we're prepared to go forward with that. The father of the children unfortunately has passed, and the mother has mental health issues. The children have lived with my client for going on 2 years now, and they can tell you what's going on with the children. So I could ask them some questions and put in some testimony. Do you want them under oath?
Let's go ahead and go ahead with your questions.
Yes. Nancy, you're the biological grandmother of the children. That's correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And your son was who? What was your son's name?
Aaron Lee Kimber.
Okay. And he was married to the mother?
That is correct.
And her name?
Mary Claire Kimber.
Tough questions, I know.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, your son has predeceased.
Yes.
that is correct.
Over the years, and I guess this is a question for both of you, what relationship did you have with the children?
We had a loving relationship with Larson and Lydia. They would come out here as they got older. They would come out here for summers and be with us. Mario, Papa, would go fly back to get them and bring them back here for the summer, and then he would fly them back home.
And where are you talking about? Where were they residing at the time? In Pennsylvania?
They were residing in Gaithersburg, Virginia.
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay.
Yeah.
Gaithersburg, Maryland. Okay, got it. What happened with regards to the mother, Mary Claire?
Is that for both of us, or?
Yeah. Mario, why don't you go ahead and
Okay. Mom is bipolar, unmedicated, and her mother, Claire Hazel, actually called us and said that her condition was deteriorating. She would not get on her meds, to stay on the meds, to the point where she would, in her depression, just sit at the house, smoke cigarettes, and drink Coca-Cola, according to the kids. And then she accidentally started a fire in the house with her smoking, and she was ITA'd at that time by the medics that responded, the fire paramedics, and she was hospitalized and stabilized on her meds for a short time, at which time she realized that she could not take care of the children anymore. And so she originally initiated the proceedings for guardianship, and then she got off of her meds when she was discharged from the hospital, and she failed to follow through on that. And so her mom actually contacted us and said we needed to proceed with this because her condition was becoming more debilitated through time. So that's when we contacted you, and the kids came out. And actually, Larson, at 10 years of age, made the decision and went to his mother and said, "Mom, you can't take care of us. We need to stay with Papa and Grammy." And so,
okay. So when did they come out?
They came out almost a year and 8 months ago,
And
Yep.
where,
June 20th.
June
where do you
20th,
and Nancy, where do you and Nancy reside?
here in Longview.
Okay. And how big is the house?
It's right at 1,700 square feet. Each kid has they have their own bedroom and their own bathroom downstairs. And
Okay.
since then, we've been able to enroll them in Three Rivers Christian School, where they're thriving. They hadn't been seen by a dentist or a physician in 5 years under mom's care, and they both are current. They have their own physicians. Matter of fact, Larson's just now entering into orthodontics. We need to get him taken care of. So they're on track.
All right. And well, what's your occupation, Mario?
I'm one of the county chaplains for Cowlitz County.
Okay. And how long have you been in that position?
For 15 years. Prior to that, I was 30 years at Longview Fiber Company.
Okay. And you're not asking for any support from the mother?
No, we are not. Their dad took good care of them, and the survivor benefits provided by Social Security, we feel, are more than adequate, where they don't need state funding for anything.
Right. But they're going to private high school at this time?
Private elementary school for both
Oh.
of them. They will continue on to private. Their funds I've got that already prepaid for next year. So.
Right. I don't think I had any other questions, Your Honor, unless you had questions.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. Especially the details regarding residing in Washington, because I saw in the order, there was some suggestion that they hadn't been in Washington for the past 6 months, but it looks like maybe that was at the time of filing, but at least at this point, both children have resided in the state of Washington for the prior 6 months, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So I do find everything else in order. I have reviewed the order. I appreciate both of you being here today and being willing to give testimony. I do see mother's consent for the guardianship. I saw the proof of service of that as well. So I will go ahead and sign the minor guardianship findings in order as presented. Is there anything else the parties need from me today?
We can't think of anything, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Okay.
Thanks, Your Honor.
And
Thank
then Ms. Farr, thank you for being here. I see you there. Ms. Rapp, I see you present. Thank you for being here. And my notes were perhaps we're kind of making our way through the path of discussing visitation. I know the GAL is working on her findings. So if someone wants to fill me in on what is being requested of the court today.
My client would like to expand her visitation. It got cut down. She was out of the area for a period of time, and during that period of time, her visitation was substantially reduced. I believe it's a couple hours every other week. And prior to that, she had more residential time. So we would like to get back to where she has more residential time with the child. And
Thank you. Yeah, and I did see that from our last hearing. My prior ruling was I was hoping to get the full GAL report before making a decision on that visitation, but maybe what I'll do is go ahead and hear from Ms. Farr, and then we'll see where we need to go.
Morning, Your Honor. So that is also what I remember was that we were going to reserve on visitation until I could file my report. And that afternoon, after the hearing, I emailed Ms. Rapp and asked her to schedule a follow-up with me so that I could get my report done. And she didn't respond to me until yesterday. So I haven't been able to speak with her or finish preparing my report. So I would ask that we just put things on hold for another 2 weeks so that I can speak with her and get my report filed.
Okay. And do we have the guardian here today? They usually are logged in.
They usually are. I don't
I don't
I
see
don't know
them
why they
today.
aren't.
Okay. Yeah, they typically, I'm just noticing they usually are engaged in this process and present, and I'm just checking my last order. So I think in kind of looking back through the history, I know that we have in the past also talked about really needing Ms. Rapp to engage with the GAL so that we can address this visitation issue. So does Ms. Rapp have, are you asking for another interview, or was yesterday's interview sufficient, or what does the schedule look like?
I actually just had the response from her yesterday saying, yes, I can schedule with you. I emailed her this morning, offering my next availability, which is the 17th. That's my next time I can have an hour open to spend with her.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be able to talk with her until then, if she's even available at that time. But I do have other openings that same week within those couple days, so we should be able to coordinate.
Okay. Ms. Rapp, can you hear the court?
Yes,
Is it okay if I ask your client just scheduling questions?
That's acceptable, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Rapp, I'm just wondering if you have availability October 17th for about an hour to chat with Ms. Farr so that I can, on the merits, address your visitation request.
absolutely.
Okay. What time, October 17th, what time, Ms. Farr, are you looking at?
1 p.m.
Will that work for you, Ms. Rapp?
Yes,
Okay. And then Ms. Farr, does she typically call you at that time, or you call her?
I sent her a Zoom link and we connect by Zoom.
Perfect. Ms. Rapp, do you have that capability?
yes,
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reserve on the visitation. I have looked back at my prior rulings, and I do feel that this interview is necessary before I make a ruling on visitation. If you, that's why I wanted to work with scheduling, so we can get this done as quickly as possible, because I'm not here to withhold visitation, Ms. Rapp. So I just want to make sure that you do attend that 1 o'clock meeting with Ms. Farr, and then we'll come back in 2 weeks and have a more meaningful discussion about visitation, because I know that is a priority for you, and I really do appreciate you being engaged in this process. Does that work?
yes.
Okay. So, is everyone available 2 weeks from
So, Your Honor,
today?
I am in trial in Clark County that day.
I remember somebody who's normally on this docket didn't have that date available. I could put you to Thursday well, no, you're in trial that whole week.
I'm actually only in trial that one day.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Would you all want to go to October 26th, which is the Thursday docket? Or I could offer you Halloween, October 31st, back on this docket.
I'm fine either way.
I can't do the 31st. I have a settlement conference I'm in.
Okay, so the 26th would work best then?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that. I'll extend the order through October 26th. Is it okay if I put this on the Thursday docket? I don't need any special permission from another.
No.
Okay. So I'll get this put on Thursday, October 26th, 2023. And then anything else we need to do on this matter right now?
No.
All right. Well, thank you all for being present. Ms. Rapp, make sure to write down the October 17th appointment with Ms. Farr. And thank you everyone for your participation. 08.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What I have you all here for, and let me just jump into your digital file. I have this on for approval of a petition, but I have some questions and concerns, so I don't think we're going to get that far today. But these guardianship proceedings, I don't know if you have been through this before, but they're kind of step by step by step. It's usually not a one and done type of situation, and I think that's probably where this case ends up. I do see the August 16, 2023 petition to appoint an emergency minor guardian. I do show that that was denied ex parte. And the reason listed on the denial was a crime of dishonesty indicated on the criminal history for one of the guardians. That is a disqualifying factor. However, the court can take additional testimony about that and determine whether to waive that where the guardian petitioning the court is a relative of the minor. And I think that is the case here, but that is something we will need to address. The other concern I have is one of the potentially disqualifying factors is where the guardians are non-residents of the state of Washington and have not proposed any Washington resident first process service, so documents and those sorts of things in state. So those are questions that we will have to address. I also would note, and I did just receive an affidavit of non-service. We have not, the guardians have not effectuated proper service on the parents. What I was handed this morning was the affidavit of non-service describing the attempts that were made to serve the parties. So what I'm proposing today is a couple of things. Number one, I would like to appoint a court visitor on the service issues. That's someone that can assist with service. I also think we're probably going to have to hold a hearing. I'm not going to approve an emergency guardianship today because of the two potentially disqualifying factors just based on the pleadings. So I do think we will need some input and eventually a hearing on whether the court is going to waive those factors in the statute. The other question so we're going to appoint a court visitor. The other question I have, Riley, is how old are you?
16.
Okay. Are you requesting to be appointed an attorney to represent your interests in this case?
What does that mean?
So a minor over the age of 12 who is in a guardianship proceeding, which is what has been filed for you, has the right to request their own attorney, depending on if I assume you're probably in full-time school or at least not working full-time right now. And if that's the case, then usually that attorney is appointed to you at no cost to you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So let me just ask you some qualifying questions. So what is your current status, working versus in school?
I'm in school full time.
Okay. And do you earn any income?
No.
Okay. And do you have any, do you receive any sort of state assistance?
No.
Okay. Do you have medical benefits through the state of Washington or anything like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has Medicaid through the state of Washington.
Okay. Since you do have an income-based form of state assistance and you are a full-time student, I will find that you qualify for an attorney to be appointed at you at no cost to you. They will be paid by Cowlitz County. So I'm going to fill out that form, and then I'm also going to fill out a court visitor form so we can deal with the two issues, service and disqualifying factor questions that I have. And Ms. Farr, do you want me just to reach out to the judicial assistant on next court visitor on the list, or would this be something we would appoint to Ms. Day? I'm not sure kind of where we're at on that.
I actually don't know who is next on the list. So,
Okay.
yes.
I will take a look at that.
Thank you.
So, Riley, what'll happen is I will fill out this order requesting the county find a lawyer for you. They will reach out to you. I don't know who that person will be. Essentially, they have to run all of the parties' names through their conflict database to make sure they can take the case. So as soon as we have that name for you, the court and the attorney will get a hold of you. Okay. So what I'm going to do, there is no temporary order in place until we get to the bottom of some of these other issues. I would like to set this case out a few weeks to give everyone time to meet with lawyers and a court visitor to get up to speed. I understand you're in school, so I don't want to schedule this too early and then have to bump it out again. So I am thinking about 3 weeks, if that works for the parties, which would be October 31st, again at 10:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would that work?
That'd be fine, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we could pick any Tuesday. Because there's not a temporary order, we don't have a real strict timeline. So if something else works better, let me know.
Yeah, October 31st would work. The one, there's several issues. One is that he the school he's going to has contracted with a counseling service, and they can't even make an appointment for him because we live in Portland.
Right.
I'm Corey. This is Luis. We're taking care of him right now since.
Right.
And his we can't do anything with his medical insurance, obviously, till anything happens, and we can't get that. He needs a prescription of Ritalin refilled. We've asked his parents to do that several times. They haven't done it. And so he needs that. And so, there's some of those issues that are already popping up that it's just, I tried calling to make an appointment for him at his established doctor, and they will not even let me do that. It has to be Jason or Buffy to do that.
Right.
They've both been asked several times to do it. They just, won't do it.
Yeah, understood. And that is a difficult position to be in. My hands are a little bit tied with the factors I've described to you. I can't sign an order giving you that authority today. What I would say, at least in the state of Washington, is that Riley should be able to make those appointments because he's over the age of 12. So once you're 13, you should be able to contact your doctor's office on your own. So that would be my recommendation in the interim. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So we'll set you to October 31st at 10:30 a.m. Same Zoom link. And then I'll get the order appointing lawyer and court visitor out so we can work on service issues. And hopefully by the next time we're together, Riley will have an attorney present representing his interests.
Sweet.
Okay. Any other questions for me right now?
Any questions? No.
Okay. Like I said, this is kind of a step-by-step process. So we'll see you back in 3 weeks. So
All right.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
We do have a temporary order in place through today that was signed ex parte by our judicial officer. I also see, and Ms. Rasmussen, you're the proposed guardian. Is it just you? Are you the only adult in the home?
I am, yeah.
Okay. Because I saw there was potentially 2 other people that you filled out the criminal history sheet for, but then they were taken off.
Yeah, I had put both the parents on the same cover sheet, and so we just had to do a different cover sheet for their criminal history.
Got it. Okay. And then we did get the motion for order to release CPS information. Else.
And I did have a question about service.
Yes, I'm just going to get there.
Okay.
Hold tight 1 second. I will take your question in just a minute.
Thank you.
I have that circled on my docket sheet here. So I'm just making my way up there. Yeah, I'm not seeing. So a couple questions I have. I noticed on the show cause motion, which is what we're here for today, You indicated that both parents are transient.
Yeah. So they're both homeless.
Okay.
And they're homeless anywhere from Lewis County to Cowlitz County, and sometimes over in Clatskanie and Rainier. So they're not necessarily in one place. And as to the father, he doesn't even have a working cell phone right now. When he contacts the maternal grandmother to have visitation, he will call from just anybody's phone. So it's kind of hit or miss, really, with either of them on trying to.
Yeah, and I understand. And again, gosh, for those of you who come on this docket frequently, and that's not you, I know this is your first time here, but you'll hear me kind of repeat the same thing to people because this is not uncommon. But we have to, as a court, be convinced that all avenues of service, personal service or electronic service, have been exhausted before we could authorize alternative service like publication in a newspaper that we think they might see, which is, who reads a hard copy of the newspaper anymore, but those types of things the law still allows. So what I do want to do in your case is have a court visitor appointed, like you heard in the last case. This person can help you work through those process service issues. And then they ultimately make a recommendation to the court that, hey, here's the point where I think with all due diligence exercise, we still can't find parents. And then I make a ruling on whether to waive in-person service, electronic service, that sort of thing. So let me ask you a couple questions. What is as the guardian, what is your current income?
I bring home about $2,400 a month, give or take, between 2 and 24.
Okay. And are you the only income earner in your home?
I am, yes.
Okay. And how many dependents do you take care of on that money?
Just Lily.
Okay.
Well, and myself. I don't know if I can, but.
Okay. And then do you receive any form of state assistance or income-based assistance?
I am on state medical for right now.
Okay. So what I will find based on that is that you do qualify for a county paid court visitor. That means Cowlitz County will pay for the court visitor to help assist with service issues on this case.
Okay.
Let me just grab that order so I can start filling it out. And then as soon as we know who the court visitor is, they'll get in touch with you. It'll either be Ms. Farr, who you saw on docket today, or it will be Tina Day, who was on it a little bit earlier. It'll be one of those two women, and they'll get in touch with you. What I want to do is just reissue your emergency order on a temporary basis. So you sent me the actual emergency minor guardian order. I'm not going to sign that order today. That order is once we actually have proper service in place, and I can take testimony from parents if they appear, that sort of thing. So right now, all I'll be issuing is the temporary immediate order.
Okay.
And that'll go through our next court date. I'd like to give it at least 2 weeks to give the court visitor time to help with service issues.
Okay.
So I could offer you October 24th at 10:30. It's always a Tuesday at 10:30. Or we could go 3 weeks out to October 31st. Do you have a preference?
Your Honor, if you're okay, I would like to do the 31st just to give an extra week to try to provide service.
Absolutely. So we'll get your emergency order extended through October 31. And then you'll be back here, same Zoom link, October 31st, 10:30. Okay. Do you have any questions for me at this time?
I don't think so. I kind of know, I heard what you said. It kind of goes step by step by step.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's these, I don't know yet that I have seen a one and done hearing on these types of cases because there
Yeah.
are so many, as you can probably imagine, rules and laws regarding the care of minors when parents
Yeah.
are unable or unwilling to do so. So I'm guessing even October 31st will not be the last time that we are together on this
Right.
case.
Yeah.
But we'll just keep stepping our way through it, okay?
Okay. All right.
Okay, we'll see you back on the
Thank you.
31st.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. And then I see, is it Miss Doble online?
Does it say Cody? I'm Jaden Woodruff. Sorry.
Thank you, Jaden.
Yeah.
We called your case and we did note that you were always present. So we kind of figured just something came up.
The Wi-Fi wasn't at home and I live in Silver Lake, so I had to come all the way to Longview to get service. And then by the time I got on here, I was like, oh no. So
No,
I mean,
you're
at least
fine.
jumped on to
Here's what we did because Ms. Rapp had just yesterday made contact with the guardian ad litem. And we really need the guardian's report before we determine visitation or anything. So Ms. Rapp and Ms. Farr made an appointment in today's hearing to meet next week on the 17th. So just the two of them, nothing for you to appear for.
Okay.
And then the soonest we could get you all back is Thursday, October 26th at 10:30. So it'll be on the Thursday docket. Will that work for you?
That's fine. I just want to make sure it's a Thursday because
Yep.
it's always been Tuesdays for me. So Thursday.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Miss Farr had a trial on Tuesday, so we had to put you all on the Thursday docket. I am going to sign a reissuance of the emergency order through the Thursday docket.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll be, make sure I'm right. That one we set to October 26th at 10:30, correct? Okay, October 26th, 10:30. Same Zoom link, except it'll say Thursday instead of Tuesday.
Okay. Well, I apologize for being late, not showing up on time.
You are
Any
fine. We
public
actually all noted that you were always present for these hearings, so we knew something abnormal had happened. So we'll see you back on Thursday, the 26th.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.